morning, guys. It's Saturday for me, so happy weekend. This is another what I eat in a day, and today is super busy, like back to back to back to back. I have the whole day. I have no free time. So my meals today are definitely going to be quick and easy, and I'm actually eating out for dinner. First thing I'm going to have is a banana before I run to work out, and bringing my coffee cup so I can get coffee on the way and not have to use plastic. So that's what I'm starting my day with. I'll show you my real meals and everything I'm eating once I get back from this, but as usual, like, I'll be for the rest of the day kind of in a rush. So I will talk to you when I get back. I'm back. I had kind of an exciting morning. I was like accepted and then invited to a model casting. I've always been under the impression that I'm too short and just too like physically awkward to model. Like, I was always told when I did acting that my mannerisms gave off the impression of being super awkward and fearful, so I never considered like modeling really to be an option. And through Instagram, like, people and agencies would reach out, but then they'd find out that I was barely under 5'4". I'm like 5'3 3/4", and so they'd be like, oh, sorry, we don't have like that height, we don't represent that, because in like photos I look taller than I am. I never like went through with it, but then this one agency had 5'5" listed as their minimum height, and so I was like, okay, it's not that big of a lie, you know, standing up a little straighter, we'll go for it. And they actually like looked at me online and my photos and all, and they asked me to come walk for them and take photos like at their studio, and there were a lot of other people there. Like, it was a bigger call. Sorry, I'm washing a sweet potato, but I'm here. And so they said that they'd let me know within a few days, like, if they want to sign me or like talk to me or anything, and no like pressure, like I don't really care. But it was just kind of cool to defy that fear and that belief that I would never be able to be presentable for like something mainstream in photos because of how I looked, and like tattoos and all, and they were cool with it. So it's like 2:20 now. I have Reiki at 4 and I need to leave for Brooklyn in like an hour, a little less. So I'm kind of in a rush, but I'm going to make my typical salad that I love. It's gonna be today black beans, sweet potatoes, quinoa, avocado, and some lettuce. Right now I'm just cutting up the sweet potato because I like to steam and then air fry these Japanese sweet potatoes. I'm not super duper hungry, and that's probably just because I was just kind of like excited because I did work out this morning. I did a SoulCycle class, and it was a Survivor, which is their longer class, and so I generally would be like hungry now, but I think I'm just kind of running off of adrenaline because they asked me to walk on a fucking runway. Like, I'm 5'5". Right, yeah. According to them, I'm 5'5". I'm not 5'3 3/4. My mom did modeling when she was younger, and so she talked about it growing up, and she's normal height. She's not like small person. And so I learned how to like model walk as a kid in her size 7.5 shoes. She had small feet even though she was tall. I have small feet even though I'm small. I'm like a 5'5.5". So I learned to like model walk in normal person shoes even though I'm so short. So like technically I kind of like, you know, have learned, even though I looked at the judges instead of looking straight during the walk, and so I think I might have fucked it up. But anyway, I chopped up my sweet potato into tiny pieces, and I'm about to steam this. And as always, chopping a sweet potato, but as always, composting, you know, food waste. And as I do that, I'm going to just prep the rest of my salad because the sweet potatoes don't take that long to steam, and then I'll air fry them for like just a handful of minutes. So I'm going to I do usually like a heaping half cup of both beans and quinoa. if I'm doing beans as my protein. If I'm doing tempeh, I do like half a block. But yeah, I just prep quinoa and black beans for the week, and I'm gonna do just a big heap of those. Oh shit, I'm getting quinoa everywhere as usual. But I know I do need to eat a sizable lunch, because when I get Reiki healing, healing just your energy stores, it just like wipes that. Like, even though you're literally just sedentary lying down as if you were getting a massage, except you're not even getting moved like that, it does take the energy out of you. So doing like a half cup of quinoa, because I don't think I'd be able to have more than that. Sometimes I do more. Beans, and then I'll just wait for my sweet potato to finish cooking so I can add that on top. And I have half extra quinoa, meaning half an avocado here. Sometimes I do a whole, sometimes I do a half. I don't think I'd be able to stomach a whole right now. Let's see if I can do this. Oh shit, yeah, no, the pit is not coming out in that way. We're just gonna have to scrape it. And this is another hairy avocado, which is really sad. I call them hairy avocados when they have so many of those little strings, which just piss me off. Like, I want a stringless avocado, which is just like the nice creamy fat, not the weird hairs. Like, you can even see it on the fork. Like, there's just weird hairs. So I try to like string the hairs out with the fork, but then it just pulls the whole avocado apart. So instead of eating the whole avocado just like sliced, I like to mash it with a little bit of salsa. It disguises the hairs because it's like guac. It's poor man's guac. I'm just taking the remaining half and smushing it. Oh shoot, and it's bruised. Oh man. I don't even know if you can eat avocado bruises. You can probably eat them, but they look gross. So with the avocado, I'm taking a bit of this smoky chipotle salsa from Thrive. I'll do like a tablespoon or so, just to like make it guacified a bit. Am I in focus? Let's see. And then also adding a smidge of lime juice to that, just a tad, so it's all mixed around. Now I'm smashing the avocado salsa mixture until it forms like easy bake salsa. I never had an easy bake oven. I just had to cook for myself at a very young age because I had an alcoholic mother. I'm not gonna put that in. I probably will. I overshare, like everyone. Sweet potatoes are steamed enough now, and I'm going to air fry them for like 4 or 5 minutes. I'm so not hungry. It's frustrating because I know like the second that I probably stop eating, I'm gonna be hungry. But we'll just prevent that by eating now. This is the situation. Beans, quinoa, now sweet potatoes. Oop, they're all sticking. I don't add them with anything in the air fryer. I just put them in as is, because if you add spices, the spices generally fall through the little like air fryer cracks and burn, unless you're doing like some liquid on them. But you know, I'm easy. I just do the sweet potatoes. Adding my lazy guac. It's gonna be a new word. Just avocado mash and salsa is lazy guac. I mean, it looks the same. It is the same. Then this is some fresh basil from my windowsill. The only leaves that are like big enough to eat because I'm impatient. Then adding a few pumpkin seeds. And my usual salad toppers. This Bragg's 24 herbs and spices seasoning and black pepper. And then I'm piling it with the rest of my romaine. Oh god, this is a lot. It's fine. We'll deal. That there is lunch.
You're still going to be selling and growing, and then you might at some point lean more towards the left or more towards the right.
I'm back. Kind of exhausted. I just had my Reiki session, and they usually last around 2 hours, and mine went a little bit over that, and it was so great, so healing, so eye-opening, and so many downloads. Such a great experience. And if you're in New York looking for a Reiki healer, I can't recommend the woman I go to enough. Sorry, I keep messing with my hair because I washed it today, but it's so gross and hot and humid and sweaty out that it's this mangled mess. But I mean, I'm still getting catcalled on the street, so can't be that bad. I also snacked on some frozen grapes and popcorn at my Reiki healing because she always has little snacks, but obviously I didn't film that. Anyway, my dinner plans for tonight actually got canceled. Stop. I need to stop. My friend had kind of a family emergency, so she had to run and take care of that. So we're getting dinner next week instead. So I'm basically just going to make my usual tofu veggie curry. I don't have any rice on hand to serve it with, so I'm going to be making it with white rice, which just cooks faster. It's like a rice alternative if for whatever reason you're like looking to minimize or cut out rice, which I'm definitely not, because I love a variety of whole plant foods, whole grains. I'm just using this as like it's something to switch it up, and it's easy to have on hand when I don't have the time to cook rice, because it's kind of like the chickpea pastas but in rice form. It tastes really awesome. I love it. So I'm going to be making that with some air fried tofu, some steamed sauteed coconut curry veggies, throwing it all together. I will show you the finished product because I need to take a bath or something. I'm so gross right now. Just so much like, oh, it's been a sweaty day walking around out there. So I'm gonna bathe my filthy self, take a little time to clean up, and then I will show you dinner once it's finished, because I always show you the same process of how I make things and it's not really that interesting. Always the cooking snack of choice, Brazil nuts. Oh, also, there's this little metaphysical crystal shop on my block. I'm so lucky. And so on my way home, I stopped to pick up a little goddess Kali here. She's one of my favorite Hindu goddesses, just a really beautiful example of the divine feminine destroyer. Obsessed. Need to put her with my collection. And then I also picked up a bundle of what I think is cedar. I avoid buying sage to smudge my apartment because I know sage is endangered, so I just avoid it. And Palo Santo is running low in the wild too, so pro tip, I recommend buying cedar or some other like wormwood, some other things that to smudge your space with besides Palo Santo or white sage, because they're kind of endangered unless you're indigenous to an area where that grows, and then it's, you know, available. But yeah, pro tip. Okay, so this is what the finished product of my dinner came out as, and yes, my socks are little cows and I eat on this couch. They're adorable. We have the white rice there, which looks like normal rice, but it's actually like little pasta in rice shape made out of vegetable protein. Then we have a lot of vegetables, so onions, carrots, broccoli, bell pepper, kabocha squash, and those were sauteed in a little bit of water, and I air fried Brussels sprouts and tofu cubes, threw it all together with some kale and coconut milk, topped it with the rest of my Siete Foods cashew queso, which if you're looking for like a queso replacement or something like that, Siete Foods does a really good job. I like it, and I did not even like dairy queso because it's fucking disgusting. I have a little bit of nori seaweed here because I'm obsessed with nori, some flaxseed, nutritional yeast, topped it all off with black pepper, and my favorite New Bay seasoning from Primal Palette, and that is that. Look at how high that is. So many veggies. So little time. Also making myself a glass of this Tulsi hibiscus tea. This is my favorite hibiscus tea, which is so good for you. It has so many electrolytes and antioxidants. If you sweat a lot like I do, get yourself some hibiscus tea. Dr. Greger recommends it. Basically vegan god. So just going to let this steep and sip on this once it's all infused. And I like my tea infused as fuck, so that might be like 30 minutes. Oh, tired. Okay, so last thing I'm having today is my favorite chocolate. You know I'm obsessed with this Lakanto monk fruit chocolate because it's the best. Topping it with the last of my Legendary Foods chocolate peanut butter cup peanut butter, which is the bomb too. All their flavors. I have like just enough to do this, and then topping it with a date. I have this dark chocolate toast, that's what I call it, every single day. This is absolutely beautiful. Just look at that chocolate plus nut butter plus a date, or like multiple if you're feeling generous. Try it, I swear, it's the best thing in the world. This is my preferred toast of choice. Alrighty, I'm off to bed. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I ate in a day on this super all over the place day with so much going on. Any comments, questions, let me know below. Like, subscribe, do all the things so I know I should keep making these, and I will see you in the next video.